So the first exercise we're going to be doing for 30 seconds is a standard jumping jack. So in gym class in fourth grade, they taught us to be light on the feet and to move the arms and the legs apart from each other. So this motion and this motion. If you need a modification and you don't want to go quickly, you can do that motion slowly, either one at a time. If balance or arm mobility is another issue, you can use a chair to hold on to, and you can do one arm, one leg at a time, and then you can hold on to the other side and switch. So we're going to get our timer started. And so get ready for the next 30 seconds. We're going to be going with jumping jacks, followed by a 15-second rest. And go. Light on the feet. Jumping jacks are cardio exercise to get the heart going a little bit. You want the modification, still working the arms and the legs. Doing great, 10 seconds left. Staying light on the feet. Matching my pace or going a little bit slower if that's comfortable. One more, and rest. So we'll take about 15 seconds to take a rest here. Grab some water, fix your hair. The next exercise we're going to be doing is a standing lunge. This is where I'd recommend a chair for a little bit of balance if you feel like you need it. Side view may be good. One leg stays forward, the other leg comes behind you. Your legs are more on train tracks than they are on a tightrope. You want some space. So you're going to be lunging by bending the front knee, dropping down to the back knee a little bit, keeping your hips squared and your chest up. We're going to be doing this whole circuit for 30 seconds, 15 on one leg and 15 on the other. So we'll get our timer started. Assume the position, either with your hand on for balance or with your hands down at your sides. We'll get started and go. So lunging into the front knee, trying to keep that knee pretty much right over your ankle. You should be able to see your toes the entire time that you're doing this, and keeping your chest up tall. Breathe in one way and then breathe out the other way. Awesome job on the first leg. We've got 2 more seconds. And switch. Breathe in. Exhale to switch to the other side. Find your balance. And lunging down. So lunges are effective for the lower body because they work quads, glutes, and calf muscles, as well as a little bit of balance. Awesome job. Keeping up with me or slower. Always listen to your body. If there's any pain in your knees, go in a pain-free range of motion. One more. And bring the legs back together. Awesome job. So we're halfway through the first round of this circuit. We're going to make our way down to the ground for push-ups and planks. The first modification for push-ups, if they're not doable on the ground, are wall push-ups. So you can come to a wall or a countertop and do your push-ups there. Hands about hip width apart. We can go to the ground. And you can do a full push-up, which is the legs straight and the hands right under your shoulders. But what I'm going to be showing this evening is a modified push-up with your knees down on the ground. The more challenging version is to have a straight back. But to make it a little bit easier, you can bring your bum up and go from there. So we're going to be starting in whatever position works for you. Wall push-ups, table push-ups, or down on the ground for the next 30 seconds. When you're ready, we'll start now. Breathe in one way and breathe out the other way. Again, pain-free range of motion. Focus more on control. Inhaling to fill the lungs with oxygen. Exhaling to control the motion. Halfway there. I know I'm starting to work up a little bit of a sweat here. It's a good thing. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. rest. We'll get about 15 seconds, grab some water, or just take a break. A few stretches are nice. The reason why June's self-care challenge for this month are push-ups and planks is because they're two of the most effective exercise for the upper body, the core, even the lower body. And they're two exercises that you don't need any equipment for, just a little bit of space in your room or even anywhere else you can kind of find that space. The next thing is going to be a plank. You can do it on the wall. You can do it on the tabletop. We're going to be showing a forearm plank with the legs out straight. You can, of course, keep your knees down on the ground with the forearms, keeping a flat line as best you can from your head to your tailbone. We're going to be here for 30 seconds, so I want you comfortable. Here is good. Or you can lift up, pressing through the heels. We'll be here for 30 seconds. Breathe. And hey, shaking's a good thing. It means you're getting stronger. Inhales and exhales. Muscles wrapping around your shoulders and your core. For another 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Slowly come on out of that. All right, fantastic job. So we have finished all 4 of the exercises in the circuit. We're going to be completing it one more time. So we'll take at least 15 seconds of break here. Grab a little bit of water. And with those 4 exercises and just this little bit of space, we have hit most of the major muscles in the body so far. So we're going to be returning to our jumping jacks. Remember, you can use the chair, you can modify, but we're going to be going with full jumping jacks for 30 seconds. Stay with my pace, or even speed it up a little bit if you're going. Let's go. Breathe. For 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. 15 seconds. Take a break. It's good to get the heart rate going a little bit. Getting the cardio with jumping jacks. I always joke it's one of my favorite, elementary school exercises. So remember, the next thing we have are standing lunges. So grab your chair if you need a little bit of balance. Start with whatever leg you want to behind you and the other leg in front. By the way, having a nice stopwatch is handy. So the iPad or iPhone, track your workouts. So 1 foot behind, 1 foot in front, hands on the hips for balance. And we're going to be going for 30 seconds starting now. Bend into the front knee and lunging down. Keeping those toes right over the ankle so that it's not going forward, it's really dropping straight down and up. Inhaling one way, exhaling the other way. We can do one more here. Squeeze in the butt as you come up, and we're going to switch sides. So bring the opposite leg back. Keep the body up tall, and we're lunging into the opposite leg. That breath is so important here, especially coming out of a cardio exercise. We're slowing it down a little bit. We're controlling this motion. It's really all about getting oxygen to those muscles we're working. Quads, glutes, calf muscles, lower body. One more. And step the feet back together. All right, now we are going to head to push-ups and planks, wall, or on the cabinets, on the table. We're going to be starting with our push-ups. We're going to be either full push-ups or on the knees. A little bit more challenging if you're in a straight back formation, but if you have the hips up, it's a little bit easier to go up and down. So wherever you're at, we're going to start Now, pushing down and back up, making sure the hands are even and the fingers are spread wide. You might say, like, how far should I go down? I know, like, in gym class, there would be, like, touch the nose to the ground. Go as far as you can comfortably. I'm not trying to have any shoulder pain or fall into the ground. Just keep breathing. It's not a competition. It's just feeling this time with productive exercise. 10 more seconds. Keep it up. For 5, 3, 2, and 1. Take a break. I think the really fun thing about push-ups for me is that they've always been so challenging. So at the beginning of this year, I started with 5 push-ups every day. That was super hard for me. I added 1 push-up on every week, and now I'm up to 17 is what I started yesterday. The last 2 are very challenging. This morning, you find me shaking, but hey, it's great that I can like do 5 in a row. It starts to feel good once you get the practice in. So the last thing for strengthening are the planks on the wall or the tabletop. We can come down to the ground. The first version is to stay on your knees, but on the forearms, we'll go to a full plank. Now, for the last 30 seconds. So fire up your heels, pressing your heels back towards the back wall. Squeeze your thigh muscles, pulling your kneecaps up. Scoop your tailbone and press your butt down to the ground so it's flat. Wrap your belly button and your core muscles strong around you. Fire up your elbows and your shoulder muscles, wrapping your shoulder blades to your mid-back. Your head and neck is straight by looking straight down to the ground or 1 inch past your hands. Keep breathing for another 10. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right. So that is the 6-minute workout. If you're spending 30 seconds on all 4 exercises and repeating that in a circuit with 15-second breaks in between, you're effectively working out the whole body in a short period of time. And that's what really challenges muscle memory and muscle growth. So something you can fit into your routine. If you can stick with us for another few minutes, we're going to finish with a little bit of stretching next. So a yoga stretch that's nice is child's pose. We're going to come back to our knees. You're going to sit your hips back towards your heels. You're going to stretch your arms out long in front of you. Sometimes having pillows underneath your chest or your head is really nice, but we're going to be here for 30 seconds, just letting the head rest and the arms stretch out. Your arms can be active and straight, or I like them nice and kind of relaxed. Just focusing on the breathing now. 5 deep breaths. Inhales, expand. Exhales, release. Inhaling oxygen to the muscles, expanding the rib cage. Exhaling, sinking down a little bit more towards the floor. 1 or 2 more deep breaths in. And deep breaths out. And the next inhale to come up, slowly lift up onto hands and knees. If you're watching this right now, I'd encourage you to turn over on your back. It's really nice to kind of lay flat down on the ground just to take a few minutes of or few moments of rest after this. If you're more comfortable in a seated position, you can go on to kind of a crisscross position. And we're just going to finish with a little bit of a meditation. So if you're flat on your back, let your feet come apart from each other. Let your kind of toes drop out to the side and your heels come in. If you had that pillow, you can put it underneath your knees, or you can go into kind of a butterfly formation, letting your feet come close together. If you're seated, find a tall seat the contact of your hips either on a chair or the ground, and your back up nice and straight. So we're going to be focusing on taking 10 deep, long, and slow breaths. So inhaling through the nose or mouth, and then exhaling out. Nice inhales in and exhales out. For the next few breaths, you don't have to worry about what you did earlier today or what you're doing later this evening. All you have to do right now is focus on your breath, feeling your heart rate, feeling the rate of your breath. And any thoughts that do come to mind, start knocking at the door. Just put them on polite pause for right now. So for the next 3 breaths, just feel where the breath is in your body. Is it shallow and in your chest? Is it deeper into your belly and your diaphragm? On your exhales, can you squeeze out a little bit more of the stale air, pulling up your diaphragm like a vacuum and pushing it out? And on your inhales in, can you allow your diaphragm, that muscle under the ribs, to drop a little bit farther, to expand more into your belly? So mind on the breath for one more. Now just for a moment, let your mind go. Whatever I was thinking about earlier, return to that. Let it kind of chew on those thoughts. Just kind of see them, recognize them, give them a minute. And then for one more, the deepest breaths you've taken all day, come back to your breath for a nice big inhale in and an exhale out. When you're ready to come out of it, you can, if you have nothing else to do after this, you can lay or chill for another 20 minutes. That would be fabulous. Or if you need to get going, kind of start to wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. You can roll your fingers or your wrists and your ankles out and roll to one side if you're on your back, or you can just kind of come to an attentive seated position. I want to thank everybody for joining me this evening. It was a pleasure to be able to move in kind of a quick and effective way with so many people I don't get to move with normally. And I hope that the 6-minute workout helps you the next time you just have kind of a small amount of time. If you're waiting around for something or you have just a little bit of a slice of time, 6 minutes can accomplish a lot. So jumping jacks, your lunges, your push-ups, and your planks, 30 seconds for each with 15-second rests. Do that in a cycle of 2. You can always kind of add and subtract things as you go, but that as a core workout routine is easy enough to remember and something that you can really make a part of your regular routines.